How's it going, everybody? Josh Rosales here with the Break Thru podcast. I am crazy excited to have with me today. Rachel is the co-founder and CEO of Siege Technology Solutions. She has been a resident of Murfreesboro for over 20 years, an alumna of MTSU. Sorry for my my wife's alma mater, but MTSU. And I'm super excited because MTSU is come a long way, and they continue to grow. They continue to be on the cutting edge of a lot of different things. And the crazy thing about it, and the awesome thing about it, is that MTSU is right here in Murfreesboro, the center of Tennessee. Things are happening. And so with all of that, Rachel, welcome to the Break Thru podcast. Great to have you on today.
Thank you, Josh. It's good to be here. And honestly, I'm not offended by your UT attire. I'm actually originally from Knoxville. So I'm UT fan at heart as well. I actually ended up in Middle Tennessee, though, for MTSU. So
awesome.
Yeah, MTSU it's great. Murfreesboro, the geographic center of Tennessee, the heart of Tennessee. So
yeah,
really grown a lot.
Yeah, it has grown. It's amazing, the growth, not just in Murfreesboro, but in Tennessee as a whole. And this, brings it around to, the Break Thru podcast is designed to help other people that are listening and that are watching to help break through those things that maybe are holding them back, and they listen to our conversation and listening to best practices and helping them connect the dots. And, a lot of entrepreneurs, we see their successes, but we don't see the failures. We don't see the many businesses that have failed, and then they finally find a business or connect the dots, and then you see the success. And so, the one thing that I talk about from time to time is that we see the successes of individuals, whether it's an entrepreneur or an individual that has success. But the sacrifice that goes along with that, there's a lot of sacrifice. I was watching a podcast, or not podcast. I was watching a YouTube video last night, and I never really thought about that. Never really thought about what they were saying. And it's crazy because I'm constantly watching YouTube videos or listening to audiobooks or listening to podcasts. And this guy was saying that a lot of employees, or W-2 employees, make more money than entrepreneurs. And I was like, you know what? That is so true. Like, I mean, they don't have to worry about all the costs that go into running a business. And I think I heard a stat, and maybe you can probably correct me, but I heard a stat that 30-some% of businesses, there was a percentage of businesses that made money, but those businesses that made money, they really couldn't even cover their mortgage or their day-to-day expenses. They made a little money, and then out of that percentage, there was businesses that broke even, which means that the business owner, really didn't make any money. And it's like, okay, my business is breaking even. However, there's a lot that goes into that process, and a lot of people give up because they don't want to push through the process and see the light at the end of the tunnel. They just give up and go back to what they were doing, where they would have just hung in there a little bit more, networked a little bit more, researched a little bit more, then they would see the light at the end of the tunnel and see their business grow. And a lot of times, we're talking about the what ifs. What if I stuck in there? What if I didn't throw in the towel? What if all, that? And, this all comes around to what Siege Technology Solutions does. And so before we get into that, I know you're a small business, a small business owner of a corporation, CEO. But tell us a little bit about yourself, Rachel. Like, what brought you on this path of entrepreneurship or wanting to start your own business? Was it a series of events? Did entrepreneurship run in your family? Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. Well, so many things you just said resonate. So I'm not even sure what we'll be able to circle back to, but to start out with who I am and how I got here. Entrepreneurship didn't necessarily run in my family. My family did not come from a lot of business owners. But what I do remember from an early age is my father always telling me, you want to work for yourself. And I guess that comes from him having worked for someone else his whole life and knowing that your true freedom comes when you're your own boss. So even if that means that maybe you could make more money, at least out of the gate, starting out working for someone else, that you don't truly have the freedom to make your own choices and to guide your own destiny at that point. Whereas owning your own business, you can decide exactly what it is you want to do, what direction you want to take it, how you want to conduct business, what you're passionate about, and following those passions and helping people in whatever ways that you're most capable of doing that. So from an early age, it was one of those things where I remember being constantly reinforced that that's what you want to do. You want to work for yourself. You want to start your own business. You want to be your own boss. So of course, it didn't start out initially, as with most people. You start out, you go to school, you find a job, and you work for a while, trying to get stable and trying to just make an income. So I did that for a while. And actually, my business partner now, my current business partner is Baird Morgan. He owns Amera Agency Insurance here in Murfreesboro. And I worked for him for 11 years during college and out of college. And so great human being, really cares about people and really cares about trying to do things the right way. So I had a great relationship there. I left for a little while when I had my child. It was important for me at that time that when he was really young, I wanted to stay home with him, and went and worked for my brother for a little while, kind of putting his business together. He had his own business, so I was working on cleaning up the business side of that. And after a while, Baird had contacted me again, wanting me to come back and work with him in his agency. And what we were doing was a technology transition within the agency, which I'd done a couple of times before. For him, was transitioning the management system into the agency. So that's where I had the technology background and the insurance background from that. So he was doing that again and wanted me to come in and manage that project for him. And it was perfect timing for where I was in my life. But during the transition, the system that we were trying to transition the agency to didn't really work the way it was advertised. What we were looking for was something to manage our entire business instead of running multiple different systems, multiple different applications. So you have information in one CRM system, one information in the agency management system. They don't talk to each other. The information never matches exactly. It's duplicate entry. And so that's where at this point, I just came up to Baird one day and I said, why don't we build the system ourselves? Because nothing out there existed for what the problem that we were experiencing. And we knew that was a problem that other agencies were experiencing at the time. Why don't we just build it and then be able to help these other small businesses that are struggling? So that's where the idea came from. And we branched off and formed our own company. And it's been a labor of love over the last 5 years, building out this product to help his business and help others along the way. So that's how we got into this industry that we're in now. Started out in the insurance field, but we've branched out now the last year, and we are helping other industries as well, with small businesses to medium-sized businesses are really my passion, with helping these business owners be able to get a hold of their business. With technology today, there's so many different things that you can do that can really increase your efficiencies and make experiences with your clients better for your clients, and be able to make you more profitable and generate more revenue just from using technology. And so many people either don't know how to put their tech stack together, or don't know how to make different applications work together, or don't know that they're even capable of automating different processes or streamlining their businesses through technology. And just being able to help these smaller businesses that maybe can't afford to go out and hire marketing teams and HR teams and all these different divisions. If it's like a 1 or 2 or 3 person shop, you've got to wear a lot of hats. So technology is definitely a way that small businesses are able to compete a little bit more in this highly competitive market, where there's so many businesses nowadays coming in and buying up all the small shops, and it's hard to compete when you're small. So that's really my passion, is being able to come in and help these smaller businesses find a way to improve their efficiencies and to be able to compete and hold their own in today's marketplace.
So what would you say is one of the biggest mistakes a small business makes that you see?
One of the things that really helps businesses, that especially when you're small, you don't think about, is having processes, knowing your process. A lot of people go out and they just wing it from day to day, which when you're getting started, you're having to do everything yourself and you're figuring things out. But to really think about and consider the process, what you want the end goal to be and what steps it's going to take to reach that end goal, to having those steps set in place. That way you have a path, you know which way you want to go. It provides direction for you as well as for employees and staff as you hire a team to help you. If there's no direction, if you don't have an end goal, then nobody knows where they're going, and it gets chaotic and things never flow the same way. And it can be a confusing and frustrating experience to customers when nobody knows exactly what's happening. So I really encourage, even at the very small scale, it's for people to figure out your process, figure out your goals, break it down. Okay, if this is my goal, what do I need to do to get there? And break it down into as small steps as you can, because again, it gives you a process and a guideline, but also with use of technology, if you have a process, you can automate the process. That can help eliminate human errors, that can increase efficiencies, that can help you be able to do more work with less staffing. There's a lot of things that you can do with that, but if you don't know the process, you can't improve upon it and you can't automate it.
So basically, kind of walking back into the process. So this is where I want to be now. How do I get there? Let's walk back into the numbers or into the process.
Right, exactly. And it not only improves how you do your business and how you can operate your business and being able to know where you're maybe succeeding, or if you're not succeeding, figuring out why you're not succeeding or where the bottlenecks are, the problem spots are, but it also helps improve the customer experience because the customers know what to expect. You know what you're trying to provide to your customers, and you make sure things don't fall through the cracks, or make sure customers are getting all the touches that they need.
So with you, Rachel, helping so many businesses, how important is it for you, and what do you do when it comes to mindset? Like, how do you keep yourself mentally psyched or self-developed? Or many people do many different things, but what does that look like to you?
Yeah, it's easy to get overwhelmed sometimes when you're a small business owner, because there are so many different things you have to do, and it's hard to maintain focus. And I will be completely honest with you, maintaining focus is something that I know personally that I struggle with. And I think self-awareness is huge, because whenever you know what your personality flaws are, you know how to work within those and how to address those. So I know that focus is one of those things, because there are so many different things that pull you in different directions. So trying to maintain focus, whether that is having your list of your most important tasks that you know you have to get done that day, and having that list in front of you, whether it's a digital list or if you like to have post-it notes or a notepad, whatever's, having that list that I have to get this done today. If nothing else gets done, this has to get done, and being able to focus on that. But then also another thing that falls into that for me personally is having certain people in your life that you trust and that can hold you accountable and that you can bounce ideas off of and can help you process through the craziness of life and the craziness of business and all the different opportunities and challenges that come in, whether it be someone that just listens and let you talk through those processes and untangle those thoughts to help you focus, but having like a mentor or a colleague or someone that you know and trust that understands the challenges that you face, that can help you maintain that focus. And when you do get frustrated, can help give you that encouragement and remind you that yes, not every day is going to be easy, but it's worth it. And all you have to do is just push through it. And then tomorrow the sun comes up again and it's going to be a better day tomorrow. So.
No, that's so true. I mean, you said multiple things that resonate. Mentorship, I believe, is very important. And some people ask me, well, where do I find a mentor? So usually a mentor is right under your nose. And it's like, I believe in the saying, success leaves clues. And I feel like you have to be aware of your surroundings, and you always got to be aware. I'm of the opinion that if I see someone that is successful, just because you have monetary things, yeah, that's a sign that someone could be successful. But really studying someone, someone that's really good at money, someone that is their portfolio. They're doing really well at their portfolio. Their business is just booming. It seems like they got just their act together. You don't know all the hell that they've been through to get to that point, but really having the ability to go up to them and say, "Hey, Rachel, I really admire like your business and what you've built, and you know, I'd like to take you to lunch." No, nobody's going to turn down a free lunch, and it's a small price to pay to take somebody to lunch to really, you know, learn a little bit more. And I think a lot of people are like, well, I don't know how to, get a mentor. Well, look for clues. There's success leaves clues, and you got to be able to be aware of what a clue looks like and pick up on that clue. And having those people around you, like you mentioned, is very important as well. Not everybody around you is good for you. And there's certain groups that, I have a group when I want to let my hair down or have fun. There's another group that of people that I have that challenge me every day on a daily basis. They say that you're the average of the five people that you hang around. Now, who are the five people that I hang around? They say that financially that you make within about $2,000 of each other, the five people that you're also hanging around. And I think, I look at my friends and I'm like, you know what, that's kind of correct. We all make about the same amount. Some make a little more, some make a little less. We all have the same mindset. We all, are driven, and we all call each other all the time to just talk. And every time that I talk with a group of friends that motivate me, I always leave with value added. And either I'm inspiring them or I'm adding value to them, but also I want them to add value to me. And whether I want to hear it or not, to be able to self-discover and to be self-aware, like you said, Rachel, is very important to say, you know what, I am lacking in this area, or I could do a better job, and let me do it. And it's every day. It's where how can I add value, how can value be added to me, and to be able, it's a grind. It is a grind, Rachel. It's a grind every day. It's a hustle every day, whether you own a business or not. If you're just have a mindset of being the self development and self motivated, getting up in the morning, starting your day with a podcast, or I get up every day at 5:30 in the morning. I spend 30 minutes reading my Bible and journaling. Then I spend another 30 minutes reading a book right now, and you know it. It's How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's my third time reading it, and I'm halfway through the book, and I'm just journaling it. And it's so simple, like how to win friends and influence people. The equation is so simple, but so many struggle because they don't understand what goes into it. And to have my mindset right. And there's people that there's friends that will call me in the mornings, and I know that they're going to detract from my mindset that morning. And so I choose not to answer the call, not because I don't like them, because I love them, but because in the morning it's so important for me to have my mindset right, that I
Mhm.
cannot afford to jeopardize that time, because I'll never get that time back. And especially if you're leading people, how can you pour from an empty cup? And it's very important that we stay self-motivated every day, and just constantly reading or listening to podcasts or different motivational um, um, resources, so that you can be able to give, especially spiritually, and mentorship as well. Having different mentors in your life. A lot of people don't have mentors, and mentors have mentors. That's why they're at where they're at, because every day, like, you're constantly getting mentored, constantly asking and constantly seeking to be better. For me, like, I want to be better than I was yesterday. Today I want to be better than I was yesterday. Tomorrow I want to be better than I was today. And when I walked out of the bank, when I was working for the bank and my team had 6 people on my team, it's like when we leave the bank and we turn the lights off, did we make great conversations? Did we add value to people? Did we bring revenue to the bank? Did we pay the rent? Did we pay the light bill for that day? And it's through building conversations and making people feel important. And now that I'm transitioning and working from home, I turn the light off in my office. It's the same mentality. Is did I add value today? Did I put everything into my day? Um, and so I don't. I think the for me the feeling of ending a day and knowing that I could have done more. Grant Cardone said, I think he says it best. You know, he he said that success is the difference between your potential and your reality. Every day my reality is this. My potential is way up here. But every day I tell my team and I tell people like we gotta work the gap. You gotta work the gap between your potential and your reality. And for us as an individual, you could be a CEO of a multi-billion dollar corporation, or you could be a small mom and pop. But every day you got to work the gap. It's like between the potential of your business or the potential of yourself versus where you are in the reality of the scope of things. It's got to work the gap. I got to work the gap. And it's a mindset. But once you continue to be in that mindset, it's a continual grind.
Yeah. Well, and you again said so many things to talk on there as far as working the gap and adding value and mentors. But one thing really that caught my attention with what you said was with your mentors, whenever you're choosing the people that you want to surround yourself with, you find the people that appear to be successful. And that's who, of course, you want to imitate in some form or fashion and who you want to learn from. But again, what you mentioned is you don't always see what went on behind and what it took to get there or what they deal with, on the backside that, everybody, the people that know me are going to laugh. You see, and I don't know if you have this on video, but where my office looks so nice and spotless, but the people that know me laugh because they know the chaos that's going to be behind the camera. And that's what people don't see. People always put forward, the image they want to portray. But it's so important to find the mentors that are willing to be real with you and really willing to connect with you and share the real struggles and the real things that they do actually deal with that maybe people don't see. And then to build those relationships and to improve yourself, you have to be vulnerable with those people as well. You have to be willing to have people that you can talk to talk about, hey, I really am struggling with this, or I'm having a hard time with this, or I don't know what to do with this. And that vulnerability in turn usually opens people up to be real with you as well. So being able to acknowledge where you need help and where you need to grow enables you to be able to grow. Because if you just think, oh, I don't have ways to improve, or I can't, I'm good as I am, you're not going to improve. You have to be looking for a way to get better. And you have to have people that are willing to call you out on that. You don't just want yes men surrounding you, because you'll never improve with people who just feed your ego. So find people who are willing to care enough that you succeed, but being real enough with you to call it like they see it. So, and that's, I think, how you add value. I think I've got a microphone muted there, Josh. There.
For those of you that are watching and listening, I'm talking with Rachel. She is the CEO of Siege Technology Solutions. How can people connect with you, Rachel, on social media or website to talk further about maybe their business is struggling, maybe they just need some value added? How can they reach out and contact you?
Sure. So you can go to our website. We've got Siege, SIEGE technology.com, where you can reach me. Of course, I'm on Instagram, at Siege Technology Solutions. We've got LinkedIn. Of course, you can find us and always reach out. And of course, you can always call us or email us as well. Our phone numbers and emails are on our website. So
awesome. Well, thank you so much, Rachel. I'm going to throw out a few words here and kind of get your thoughts on them. We live in a society, I feel today, that average is praised like it's above average, or like if somebody just does the bare minimum in our society today, I feel that people praise that so much, and it's like it kind of makes me sick to my stomach because average is average and below average. It's just all around us every day, and maybe it's just my my era of time, like and like my parents and myself and just work ethic. Maybe it's just change. I don't understand, but averages, I can't. I just I don't know. I just it's just crazy to me how people celebrate below average and average. What does average mean to you, Rachel?
For me, average is just doing the minimum. And
Hmm.
I don't see how you can feel like you have a fulfilled life or that you're making an impact in this world if you're okay with average. For me, average is your starting point, but then you always have room to improve. And that doesn't mean you're not
Oh,
content with where you are, but you're always striving to be better, because no matter where you are, whether you're at the startup stage or a multi-billion-dollar company, there's always room to improve. So
average is your starting point. I love that. That is um, okay. Excellence. Excellence um, is way above average. I feel. I also I used to think long ago like practice makes perfect until I understood that practice doesn't make you perfect. Practice makes you better. And every day you have to practice to get better. And you can see people that practice because they're good at what they do. You and I would say that's excellence. They would say, no, I got a long way to go. What does excellence mean to you?
excellence is, in my opinion, to me, is never attainable. You can pursue excellence, you can be in constant pursuit of excellence, but excellence is this perfection, and perfection doesn't exist. There's always a step above and always a step better. So for me, you talked about the practice, and you can tell the people who practice their craft and don't, because the people that
Mhm.
practice their craft, of course, are at a higher level of excellence maybe than someone else. But the other thing you get when you're pursuing that excellence, when you're putting in the practice, when you're putting in the time, is you see a confidence. People that are able to perform better and perform better under pressure because they've had that practice, they've pursued that excellence for so long that they have that confidence built in themselves.
Okay, here's another one. So leadership. So I look at this. A lot of people, especially in the corporate arena, or if you have employees or people that you're over, I see a difference between managers versus leaders. You see it on LinkedIn too a lot. Um, when it comes to leadership, I think John Maxwell said it best. Leadership is simply influence. Everything rises and falls on leadership. Um, and it's not that I want to tell people what to do. I want to positively influence them and help them understand what it is that needs to be done. With that said, what does leadership mean to you, Rachel?
For me, leadership is being able to take your team and have them pursue excellence, have them come in and not be okay with average, having them wanting to be better and wanting to perform their best, being able to take a team and help them to develop their skills and to have a passion for what they're doing as well. So it's not just making sure people are doing their job that they're assigned to do, but making sure people are excited about their job and happy about their job and wanting to do their best. Otherwise, you're just a manager.
Exactly. And I see that too in our family, right? It's like I don't want to be a parent that manages my kids. I want to be able to lead them and influence them, in a way. And so, I mean, a lot of people look at that as corporate world. I look at it both, family, being a good leader. Okay, here's another one. Do you believe that there's such thing as coincidence?
So my personal opinion is, in general, I don't believe in coincidences. Now, I believe that God puts things in your path for a reason. If for some people don't believe in God, they still believe in the universe or the higher being or this calling or whatever works together. But for me, I believe that God puts things in your path and they're there for a reason, and you can ignore them or you can take them. And it's what you do with them. But I believe that there are things put there for you to take advantage of or to not take advantage of. So many things in my life have been quote unquote coincidences that I don't believe are coincidences. They were there because that's exactly what I needed at that exact point in my life. So
Exactly. I believe the exact same thing, that we are you are at the place because of decisions that you make. Now there's things that come in our life, coincidence, that you said that God has you there for a purpose, and we don't know it, and we say it's a coincidence, but God already has our whole lives planned out. He knows, and he knew that you were going to be at this certain spot when you were 35 or 40 years old. And it's not just a coincidence that you're there. It's just the constant hard work, or the lack of hard work, that lands you in that spot. Okay, so what are some of your hobbies, Rachel, that you like doing when you're not grinding at on the business and growing it?
sure. Well, I do have an eclectic set of hobbies. So one of my hobbies is finding new hobbies. But the things that have kind of stuck with me over the years, I do run. I'm a very competitive person. So I do like to, you'll catch me at a lot of 5Ks in the area, trying to beat my time as well as beating my competitors. But then also I'm passionate about travel. I love learning about other cultures and other places. So travel is definitely one of my hobbies that I've kept up with. And I do like to read a lot. So
That is cool. What's a book you're reading right now?
a book I'm reading right now is Leaders Eat Last by Simon Sinek. So that's one I've got that I've been working through. So
Readers Eat Last.
Leaders Eat Last.
That is awesome. What's a cliff note on that book?
Well, so far it just talks about the concept of as human beings, we're social beings by nature, and that if you're going to inspire a team and have a team that's going to develop and work at its highest potential, your team needs to feel like you have their back, that they're in a safe environment, that they're not going to be punished for making a mistake or for having a failure, that they're going to be supported by their leadership. So
that is awesome. That is awesome. Well, thank you, Rachel. Rachel is the co-founder and CEO of Siege Technology Solutions. Rachel has been a resident of Murfreesboro for over 20 years and an alumna of MTSU. Thank you, Rachel, for all you do for the community, especially here in Murfreesboro. I know more technology is trying to be directed here to Murfreesboro. Murfreesboro is such an amazing place to live, to work, to play. And I just want to thank you for coming on today and sharing some value, adding value. And one more time, for those that are watching and listening, how can someone, companies, individuals reach out and connect with you?
sure, if companies are looking for ways to streamline their processes or work on their technology stack, it's Siege, SIEGE technology.com. You can find all of our contact information there.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Rachel, for coming on today. Have a wonderful day.
All right, thank you.